This is Fran Harworth and my wife Joan to share a few thoughts on the 60th anniversary. Right. I was in my last year of Grace Seminary, Winona Lake, Indiana, when I got a letter from Jerry Sprunger, who was then pastor of the Colby Berean Church. He had had weeknight Bible classes in Colby with several families who had voted to start a Berean church in Colby. Pastor Jerry encouraged me to consider coming to Colby to be the first pastor. God led us to come. We held our first Sunday morning service on September 17th in the City Hall basement with 5 attending. 3 of those 5 were myself, my wife Joanne, and our baby son Scott. That Sunday evening we also had a service with 12 attending. The first year we averaged 11 on Sunday morning. That was 59 years ago. Not long after we moved to Colby, I remember the husband of one of our main families coming to our house and encouraging us to leave. His message was, things are not going well and you should pack up your bags and leave. Obviously, we stayed. Then we had a fire. I decided to try to clean up an old mimeograph machine that we were given. I was in the basement at 320 South Grant, the house we were renting. I was working hard to clean up the ink in the drum of the mimeograph machine in a pan of gas when the water heater came on. I remember the flame as it raced to my pan. In a moment, my pan was engulfed in flames. I foolishly ran to get a garden hose and put out the flames and told Joanne to call the fire department. My efforts with the garden hose only spread the flames all over the basement. Fortunately, a fireman who was nearby came and extinguished the flames, but by then we had a crowd of people watching. Well, the fire chief bawled me out, as did our drunken landlord. I was sure after that was the end of our ministry in Colby. But in spite of our foolishness, God planted the Berean Church in Colby, Kansas. Very early in our ministry, God impressed me with the verses of Hebrews 10:35 and 36, which says, "Cast not away therefore your confidence, which hath great recompense of reward. For ye have need of patience, that after you've done the will of God, you might receive the promise." Right then, I really needed the promise of those verses, and throughout our 43 years of ministry, we were encouraged again and again by these special verses. I've often said, God gave us just enough encouragement to keep on keeping on. We are always eager to hear any news from Colby and area, and especially news from the Colby Berean Church. We thank God for the continuing ministry of the church. We are encouraged by the ongoing ministry of the people of the church. During our last visit, we were personally encouraged by many of you, and especially by Pastor Jim and Shelley Myers and family. Pastor Jim blessed us with his caring ministry during Joanne's hospital stay. We've not forgotten. We want to encourage you with the words of 1 Corinthians 15:58, which says, "Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourself fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain." One of the benefits of a long-term ministry is that sometimes there are wonderful surprises that take years in the making. As we look back, we see that God fulfilled this verse many times as we labored for him here. God is faithful. We're confident that he will be faithful to reward all that you do for him. Joanne and I are grateful for the privilege of serving Colby for nearly 44 years. God has been gracious to us many, many times. Thank you for your support and patience with us.
Yes, we would just love to be with you on this very special anniversary. We also want to invite you to stop by if you're ever in the area of Fort Morgan. It's really right on the main drag at 523 East Platte Avenue, Fort Morgan, Colorado. And we would love to see you if that ever works out in your travel plans. We really are right on the way to Denver, so hopefully it'll work out for you to spend whatever time you're able with us.
We continue to pray for you and the ministry of the church.
Yes, we do.